All right, coast to coast. We're starting off with the AL East in this one, and we're going to talk about the Boston Red Sox. Last year in 2022, the Boston Red Sox were the basement Boston Red Sox in that division, and we are going to really kind of talk about that conversation this one. Utility player Kiké Hernández went on the record and stated how the frustration of this team is going. I think frustration is a good word you could put in this one. He talked about how this team will not accept finishing in last place again. He said, quote, "I don't think this is an organization that should settle for last place. We are an organization that should be competing year in and year out, and we need to find a way to get back into that winning mentality." He sounds super frustrated. Now, this is obviously when you let players like JD Martinez go, Xander Bogaerts. We definitely can't forget about Xander Bogaerts. That is a huge piece. Yes, they did sign Rafael Devers, although you and I both agree that that was a must happen. So Fenway Park did not burn down in the wintertime and be used as lumber. Now, however, there are a few other people that came in, some strong bullpen pieces. Obviously, Justin Turner, Kenley Jansen came in for the bullpen. Justin Turner, both those coming over from the Dodgers to Boston. That doesn't seem like enough, really, to be completely honest, to get out of the basement of the AL East. Do you feel like his thoughts are warranted? Would you be frustrated if you were a veteran like Hernandez? What's your thoughts here, Sean?
Man, spring training just started.
Yeah.
And everybody around baseball is, I'm so excited, and we've got a shot, and we've got a great group of guys. And he could have said all of that, but instead he decided to go a different way. And you know what? Okay. I mean, he's not wrong. I totally understand where he's coming from. We're talking about a franchise like the Boston Red Sox, who you don't expect to see them down in the basement year after year. And we may be looking at that this year, 2 years in a row in the basement. And I get it. I get his frustration. It's just, to me, it seems oddly timed. Maybe say it, get it out of the way before everybody gets back to camp. I don't know. But oddly timed, but also what does he hope to accomplish at that point? I mean, at this point, you're the guy people may look to be a leader, and that's the first thing out of your mouth this spring. That's unfortunate. And it's not like you're like an MVP candidate where you have kind of, because some guys get a longer leash to say certain things. If a Bryce Harper's coming out and saying something like that, or Mookie Betts, or there's a list of them. Hernandez is not on that list. So it strikes me as odd.
With all the players leaving Boston, like Martinez, like Xander Bogaerts, it seems like they're going to struggle for maybe this season, maybe couple other seasons on, and not just on the field, but finding that leadership. And we're looking at Hernandez right now as a possibility for one of those players to be in that leadership role. And it seems like, hey, maybe he's given this tough love right off the bat. Maybe this is what the fans want to hear. They don't want to hear it be sugar-coated, or they don't want the players to feel like they are not getting the right kind of tools into it. It's obvious. And I feel like you can put this into perspective any way you want to look at it, Sean, but Boston did not do what they needed to do to improve from last season's roster. And if you look at every other team in their division, every other team did at least something to improve in the offseason, or didn't have to because they're in a great spot moving forward with their young core or whatever the fact may be. Boston did not do that. If you look at everybody else's trajectory in the AL East, Boston's is the only one in my mind that is going significantly down or staying static compared to last season. I will say Tampa, in my opinion, probably has dropped down a little bit, but not enough to put Boston out of the last place in the East. Based on early projections, and I know this is super early, we haven't even played a spring training game yet. We're still 9 days out from that. Boston is only expected to win 82 wins. And 82 wins will probably be last place in the AL East.